All right, so here's your last one. Test correction number 15 asks, what is the inequality for the following graph? And we have this pretty little graph here with the line and its shading. And so number 1 says to determine what type of slope the line has. If the line is horizontal, then the slope is 0. If the line is vertical, the slope is undefined. Well, it looks to me like this is a horizontal line that goes side to side. It doesn't ever go up or down. It's just side to side. So it's a horizontal line, which means that I'm going to have a 0 slope. So it's a horizontal line. I ran out of room. It's a horizontal line, so it has 0 slope. So step 2 says to use Hoy-Vux to know how to write the inequality of the line. Well, since it's a horizontal with 0 slope, that means I have to write it as y equals or y with whatever symbol. If it had been vertical, then I would have to have used Vux, and so I would have to use x equals. So now to write the inequality for Hoy, we're going to use the y-coordinate of any point on the line. Well, that's real easy because I've got a y-intercept right here. And it looks like that y-intercept is at 1, 2, 3. So I know it's going to be y, and then it's going to be a 3. I'm going to leave space here for my symbol because I've got to do step 4 here to decide which inequality to use. Well, first I have to see if the line is solid or dotted. Well, this line is solid, which means it's either going to be less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Then I have to see where it is shaded. It says here to choose any point in the shaded area of the graph and plug it in to write the correct symbol. That's one way to do it. But here is the other thing to remember. If you remember this little picture that you had, this was your solid lines, this was your dotted lines, this meant shade up, and this was shade down. And so you have this little graphic in several of your notes, and so these are the symbols that went with what. And so if we look for this graph from the y-intercept, if we go to where the shaded area is, I have to go up, which means this is shaded up. Well, shade up looks like it is the greater than symbols, and since we had a solid line, we're going to pick the greater than or equal to. If you want to use the choose any point method, we can do that. So we'll pick a point. Let's just say this point right here, which looks like it's at 1, 4, and we'll plug it in. Well, if x is 1 and y is 4, we want the y to be 4, so if we say 4 and 3, we have to say that 4 is greater than or equal to 3, and so that's the symbol we'd have to use. So that's another way to do it, but if you can picture this little tic-tac-toe little graphic that you have in several of your notes, you can look and see which symbol to use. So it looks to me like y is greater than or equal to 3, and so none of my answer choices say greater than or equal to, although they should. And so I'm going to assume that it needs to be D. It just needs to be greater than or equal to instead of just greater than, because that line looks solid to me. So that is your answer. It is D. Just modify the symbol so that it matches with what we need to do.